Kidnapped from his own home, tortured with electricity and humiliated, Nariman Ametov tells us about tortures that he experienced from occupants. Last Friday, he was kidnapped from his own home in old Crimea with a sack on his head and brought to some city, most likely Simferopol. FSB operatives brought him to some basement and said that he is suspected of a subversive to a gas line and said he should take a polygraph test. I said, I will tell you everything, but I will not sit behind a polygraph machine, because I don't trust this polygraph. I am currently under a lot of stress. I'm scared. They pressure me. They swear, use different methods, and I'm scared that they accuse me of something that I didn't commit. He told me that until my or his last beat, but I will sit behind the machine. In half an hour, he was asked if he has changed his mind. When Nariman said that he does not trust this machine, then one of the operatives came over to him. He came over to me and in a loud, low voice said, "What's your name?" I said, "My name is Nariman." He said, "My name is Maxim." And he said, "Do you know who I am?" I said, "No. But I'm scared. I don't understand where I am with a sack on my head, and I don't know what will happen to me from where. I didn't expect tortures." And he said, "I'm the one who unties tongues. I'm a machine," he said. "I'm a state. I came to Crimea," he said, "to pressure people like you." I said, "This is not right. I didn't do anything." He said, "I will do everything. You will tell us everything without any consequences to me." With a lot of swearing, humiliation, which I don't want to repeat here. When Nariman asked for a lawyer, they took him and put on a chair and tied with a duct tape his legs to a chair and his head with a sack on it, also tied around with a duct tape, and connected electrodes to his ears and switched on electricity. It was very painful. Something happened to my brains. But I held up. It lasted for 2-3 seconds, quite long. I held up without uttering a word. I told myself that I will hold up. Though I realized I wouldn't last for long. Next came the second stroke. I also held up. But then, I don't know, probably they can adjust this polygraph machine. They can amplify. I received the third stroke, which of such a power I can't describe how I felt. My brains got blurred at that moment. I couldn't control anything. I couldn't control anything. But after that stroke, I shouted, "Enough, enough, I will sit behind the machine." To which Maxim said, "Now I will decide when you sit behind the machine," and continued to give me strokes. In total, Nariman said he experienced 4 such strong strokes. All his pleas to stop were ignored, and they gave him 2 more strokes. They stopped, and I immediately shouted, "Enough, enough, I will admit to everything, even to Stalin's death." I think I said so, I was not thinking clearly. They cut off the tape, sit him behind the desk, and gave him documents to sign. They were documents waiving all the complaints, admitting to some crimes, and admitting to cooperation. After he calmed down, he was connected to polygraph. They were interested in his relations with Ukrainian authorities and special services, and his attitude towards terrorist organizations. This continued for an hour and a half, and then they gave him a text which he had to read in front of a camera. And he told me, "Read this." I read several times. He asked, "Do you remember?" I said no, and he said, "I will be holding this sheet and filming you on a camera, and you will be reading what is written on the sheet." It said, I don't remember word by word, I was in a shock, but it said, "I don't have any complaints towards FSB operatives, and they didn't torture me, didn't beat me, anything like that." Nariman was told that polygraph showed his innocence. They told me, if I tell anyone about what happened here, about tortures in the basement, then they have this paper where I admit cooperation with them. And we will show this to Crimean people. If you tell anyone about what happened here, through our agents, we will tell this to Crimean people and make you look like a traitor, and people will turn away from you. After that, after some time, you will disappear. You know our methods. And I said, okay, I will not tell anyone. But they have made a mistake. They should have killed me, because I will be saying about what's going on. After some time, Nariman was brought out of the basement, put him with a sack on his head in the same car, and drove for about an hour and a half. Near his home, they pushed him out of the car and sped away. First time Nariman's house was searched in 2014. Occupants brought him to some local authority, occupying authority, and demanded some information. In case of refusal, they threatened to leave him rot in a prison. Later, several times, occupants tried to force him to cooperation, threatening him to become a hidden witness.